In case you were wondering, we're gonna talk about some stuff. In case you were wondering, talk a lot but not that much. In case you were wondering, come hang out and hear my stories. In case you were wondering, thoughts will explore these. Because I'm in the case and I'm on the case, traveling around the United States.
Let's kick it, boys. I think, okay, isn't that nice? There's something wrong with these bangs on that. Oh, something is wrong with them. Too long. Okay, that's a little better. All right, to the show. Hello and welcome back to the podcast. So, wow, today has been a day, let me tell you. Okay, first of all, I finally upgraded to a new phone, and it has been terrible for no reason, essentially. The fact of the matter is that, okay, so I had an iPhone 8, I've had it for a couple years, whatever, it was paid off, so there was a good deal to trade in, get the 12, whatever. So I was like, okay, bet. I do it. I picked it up yesterday morning at Verizon, and they didn't set it up, whatever. I just swung by, got it, came back, and was trying to set it up. And oh my gosh, it was, of course it was annoying. It's Apple and Verizon are just, I loathe them. So let's start there. But anyway, then I get back and there's the quick start. If you know, you know. And so you put your old phone next to your new phone and then it'll sync and it's magical, right? Well, no. So basically my old phone had 256, whatever. Lots of storage. The new one, I downgraded to 128 because I wasn't using all the storage. Anyway, I had only used maybe 100 gigabytes of the 256 on the 8. So anyway, I'm yeah, 128 is totally fine. Well, I get the new phone, doing the transfer, and it's not enough storage. I'm so why? Because I'm looking at the numbers. I am a math major, technically. Well, yeah, technically. So then I'm what do you mean? So then of course I'm going and I'm deleting a bunch of stuff. I get it down to 80 gigs on the old phone. And then I'm ooh, let's transfer again. It's oh, space is a little tight. I still don't think this is gonna work. I'm you know what? Okay, we're going route 2. So then I was let's just do good old faithful iCloud backup. Well, I only had the free iCloud one that was 5 gigabytes, whatever. And it was you are very much out of iCloud storage. So I was you know what? Okay. I upgrade to the maximum capacity of iCloud storage, which by the way is $10 a month. So expensive. It goes 99 cents, I think, then $2.99 or maybe $1.99 to $9.99. It's a huge jump. But I'm you know what? I just spent money on a phone, so it needs to work. So if it is gonna cost another 10, we'll start there, then maybe I can get out of it, whatever. That was the goal. I buy it, we go in, and then it's showing me how much of the storage I'm using, and it's literally an ant on a log. I'm not using much of the storage. I'm okay, that's good. It's in iCloud, it's backed up, I have plenty of room, so there's just no way this can go wrong. Right. So anyway, then I do the okay, never mind, phone, we won't do the quick start, but I'm just gonna transfer the stuff from iCloud. So I do that, and then it's gotcha. So what I'm hearing is that you want it to look like your old phone, but you don't want it to function as a phone. We're not gonna hook it up to your server, so don't expect to be able to text or make calls or use the internet, but it'll just look like a larger, fancier version of your iPhone 8. How does that sound? So essentially, that's the problem. It's all this information is there, but it's it's not a phone. And I found this out the hard way because once it all downloaded and looked good, I was okay, bet, finally That was annoying. This was yesterday evening. I was like, I'd spent a couple hours at this point, but I was like, oh, I opened it, all the apps and pictures were there. I was like, oh, okay, I guess it worked. Look at that. Go me. So, such an engineer. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to go to this lake thing that's, I don't know, an hour plus away. And obviously I don't know where it is. So I put it in my map on the new phone. I was like, I'm not bringing my old phone. Like, throw off your grave clothes. I'm not bringing them. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, it's dead. It says dead. So I'm going to leave it. And I bring the new phone and I'm like driving. And then I'm just looking at the map and I'm like, something about this map doesn't look right. Like, it's like not really loading, like it's just like showing a blue line, but there's no like roads, it doesn't have the speed limit, like it just looks like it doesn't have a lot of information. And I was like, you know, that is suspicious. I won't lie to you, it shouldn't look like that, but okay. And then I like kept trying to play my Spotify music and it was like Spotify's offline, and I'm like, offline? What is going on with Spotify? Like, why is everything not working? Like, come on. So then I finally, like 20 minutes after driving, realized that that's when I made the realization that this is not a phone. It is simply an iPod Touch, and it does not have Wi-Fi or the ability to use data. It's just $1,000 worth of nothing, essentially. So love that. And anyway, then I was like, crap, well, I don't even know how to get home, because I mean, like, I wasn't really paying attention where I went because I was using the map, whatever. Well, I found like this navigation system in my car, and I like know my address here, so whatever. I was able to get back, and then I was really upset because I was going to this lake to watch the sunset. I was so excited. If you follow the Instagram, you saw that I posted about I want to watch the sunset. Well, here's the thing. I technically did watch the sunset, but just not where I was supposed to watch it anyway. And I just haven't been able to figure it out since. I called Verizon this morning and I spoke to a woman after being on hold for 20 minutes, which I was like, okay, fair. Like, I feel like you have to expect to be on hold. So anyway, I spoke to her, told her everything that's happening. They're always so nice on the phone, so like, that was good. It was a good experience in that regard, but like, anyway, she told me a couple things to do, and then essentially I had to hang up in order to do some of the things she was saying. So then I hang up, and she was like so confident that it was gonna work, and she's like, okay, but don't worry, like, I'm gonna call you back in a couple minutes, and if for some reason like your line isn't working, like you're not I can't reach you, like you can call me, blah blah blah. I was like, okay, love it, thank you so much. Well, I sat there for an hour, did everything she told me. iPhone still won't activate, so rip. Don't know what the problem is. Like, I literally don't. And then I called her back, and I sat on hold for 45 minutes, and no one answered. And then I got annoyed, and then I had a dance party to change my energy because I was getting really annoyed. I was like, I just can't. I'm not claiming. I don't claim this energy. I don't want to feel this way. It's just a phone. I can do the podcast and I can do other things, and I'll go to Verizon later and on whatever, but it has taken up like almost an entire day for me, like half of yesterday and all of this morning, and I'm like, you know what? No, I'm going to use it. I'm using the new phone because the camera's good to record my podcast video-wise, which I'll talk about in a second. But it's simply, it's like, again, not a phone. So it works for the camera, and that's what I'm using it for. And we're just going to roll with it, figure it out later, but I just need to take a break from that. But anyway, that was a long intro about how my day has been going and the freaking annoyingness of Apple products. Like, it's such a scam. Okay, anyway, don't get me started. Oh, okay, my devices are all going to die, actually, that I'm using for this episode. But you know what? We're going to keep kicking it. Okay, so that was the story of my phone. Now, onto some more housekeeping things. Okay, first of all, as I just mentioned, I have decided to make a complimentary YouTube channel. Well, actually, I already have a YouTube channel. You might know about it. Hopefully you don't. Anyway, you're about to. So, I'm just going to upload a recorded version of the podcast to YouTube, just to make it more accessible. And I don't know, that's what like famous podcasters do, is they make a complimentary video of them recording. So here we go. I'm joining the big leagues, and that will be up. I'll link my YouTube in the show notes. I was trying really hard to figure out what the name of my channel was. I literally can't, but here's the deal. Just look up Andie Case, ANDIECASE on YouTube. But, slight disclaimer, there's a very famous, famous, compared to me, famous Andie Case. She's a singer, lovely lady, love her, don't know her, but love her. She will come up when you try to find my YouTube, but you just have to dig a little bit. It'll be there, and again, I'll link it in the show notes, and I'll make it happen. I'll make it happen for us. Yeah, I believe my picture is just a nice side profile. I'm wearing a headband, if that helps. I don't know. Okay, that was the first note. Second note, for more updates just about the podcast, and if you want to, like, I don't know, give some suggestions. I'm trying to make this show more and more interactive each week, so I kind of dipped my toe in the water with that this week. But anyway, if you're interested in any of that, follow the Instagram. It's AndieCase __ podcast, all lowercase, and again, ANDIECASE for the name, and then podcast, you know it. Okay, what else was I going to talk about? Oh, yeah, so I'm going to show the YouTube right now. So sorry, listeners, you won't obviously see it, but I made a show itinerary because I'm stepping it up for you guys, my lovely fans. Okay, so those are the announcements. Oh, wait, I have one more announcement. Okay, this week is going to be a slightly different show format. I don't know, I felt like it's episode 5. We had a couple good runs with I'm not over that format, but I think I just was like, all right, let's switch it up a little bit. So, I won't tell you the new format, but you'll just see. It'll be a little different today, and I'm excited for it. So, let's get into it. First, you know what time it is. 7-day gay, 7-day nay. First of all, let's just put it out there. I think everybody listening knows the 7-day nay. It's obviously the phone problem. We're just not going to talk about it anymore. It doesn't deserve my energy. It just doesn't deserve it. We're going to move on. That is the nay. Let's go to a positive note. The 7-day gay. Okay. This is so uneventful, and I don't know why it made me so happy, but what is it? Is that even what it's called? Okay, now I'm like getting nervous that it's not. Is that what it's called? Let me look. Let me do some quick research. Oh, wait. Wait, no. Okay, wait. Oh. See, I'm glad I looked it up because I was about to embarrass myself. That would have been really bad. So bad. Okay. So, my 7-day gay was going to Fred Myers. Meyer? Oh gosh, wait. Let me look again. Fred Meyer. No S. Okay. I almost called it Freddie Meyer, and then I looked that up, and he's a baseball player. So I didn't actually go to see him, but if you're listening, Freddie, hit me up. Just kidding. Okay, but yeah, I went to Fred Meyer. I'm so unsure of that name. And I've never been to one of those because I guess it's like a West Coast. I don't know where in the United States those start popping up, but I know it's a West Coast thing. So anyway, went for the first time. It's such a weird store. It like low-key gives me Southern vibes. Like, I think because it reminds me of the chaos of a Cracker Barrel, because there's like so much going on. It's like, am I here to shop? Am I here to eat? Am I here for local community? Like, what is going on? And I think that's how I felt at this grocery store, because it's like, 1 second it looks like you're in a Walmart. Well, I guess it is a Walmart. Wait, that's kind of what it is, I guess. But like more, I don't know, large. Or more, there's more to it than a Walmart, and it's a little bit better items. Okay. But, well, okay, we're moving on. Enough about that. So anyway, I went grocery shopping, and it was so good, and I don't know why. I just was like in one of those good moods where I was just so, like, I'm not even in a good mood. How do I explain? Do you ever get in those like really like type A, really like energized, motivated moods, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm like gonna buy green juice? And I don't know, it's just one of those days, and I just had a lot of fun, and I got so much like good produce, which is so weird that this made me so happy. But I think just because when all my friends here, like, of course we were like eating out a lot, just because that's what you do when you're on vacation, but because I'm also like living here, it's not really just vacation. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna go out and like get food or coffees really unless company is here, because I'd rather like spend money doing that with people than by myself. Anyway, that was a side note. So I was like, okay, let's go grocery shopping and let's like nourish the old body, eh? So I got a bunch of produce, and then I did the most off-brand thing ever. I went to the Dollar Tree and I got like a handful of Tupperware containers, and then I came home and I washed my fruit, and I even like bought a cantaloupe and I cut it. Crazy, I've never cut a cantaloupe. And I like washed it all and I put it in individual Tupperwares like they do in TikTok, and like stocked the fridge up. And I like, first of all, I never wash anything ever. I'm not saying that's the right move. It's not, most likely, but I just don't, and I'm like, whatever. And it'll strengthen the immune system. But I was just feeling some sort of way, and yeah, so it was just something about that was so pleasing to me. And like, been eating a lot more fruit recently, and I'm testing my allergies, which is always fun because there's just a weird handful of things that I'm apparently allergic to. So I bought a couple things that have just been testing the waters. Let's see. Hold on, I have to stop the recording. Yeah, so that was definitely a high for me. I just felt so fun and so proud of myself. And what else? Oh, I think this is so weird because the last probably week, maybe, or since my friends left, I feel like I haven't been doing that much. Like, I've done a couple things that I'll talk about in a minute with the travel stories, but I haven't been doing like as much go, and I've just been kind of like chilling, like literally, like I do like maybe one thing a day, and I just kind of hang and do whatever. And I don't know why, but it's so, I don't know, it's like so fun because I feel like I live here or something. It's hard to put my finger on it, but I feel less like I'm on vacation, like a tourist, or I don't know, like home away from home. Like, I feel like I'm just like living here, and I don't know, something about just existing versus trying really hard to make it a fun vacation. Like, taking the pressure off of it and just enjoying every single moment, even if it's like sitting on my porch looking at my neighbor's grass. Like, I love it. I'm sorry, this is gonna very much offend some of my listeners, but the amount of times the last like 3 or 4 days I have been like, okay, either I'm dropping out of school and I'm moving here, or I'm transferring to like PSU, OSU, I don't know, one of the schools here, or I'm gonna find a way to do Delaware online and I'm gonna live here. I don't know. I've been like, I need to live here, but I know that I need to finish senior year, and people have invested a lot in my education and I need to see that through. So anyway, that was a side note, but I've just been really having a good time. Okay, let's talk about some travel updates. So this story is kind of funny and so random. Okay, so the other day, this was Friday, I went and got a haircut. I cut like, I mean, if you're watching the video, I'm kind of showing you, but I cut not a lot, maybe like 1.5 inches, 2 inches, but I like shaped my hair a bit because it just like, I hadn't done that in a really long time. I didn't get layers, but I also like chopped my own hair off right before I left for Portland. So I had to tell her, and she was like, I know. I was like, well, just in case you didn't, I want to be honest. She's like, thank you. It is obvious. But anyway, she fixed it up a little bit and just evened it out, and then cut a little bit off and shaped it, and then kind of gave me bangs, which I asked for. I asked for them. But I wanted like a subtle bang. Like, if you're watching the video, you can see I got a little bang action, and then a little curtain bang, and then I don't know. I also this morning just cut them a little more because I was like, I want them to be a little shorter. I wanted some more like fringy actual bang pieces in the front of my forehead, and then just like a little curtain on the side, if that makes sense. So anyway, that was random. But I got my hair cut, had a lot of fun there because it was human interaction, which I love. And then I was like, I got home at I think like 9 p.m. Again, this is on Friday, and I was like, just in a good mood. I was like, wow, I feel like confident. I don't know, I'm just happy to have my hair done. I feel cute, whatever. I was like, you know what? I'm going to the Cosmo Lounge. I haven't been there since I went with my friends, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go by myself. That's like one thing that I was actually scared to do, is go out at night by myself. But I was like, you know what? I feel safe there. Like, I know the people there usually, and I mean, I don't know if they're top notch, but they're not bad. And I had my pepper spray, and I told my friends, whatever. It wasn't a big deal. I get there, and I just was like, okay, I'm just gonna get like one drink, hang out here for a while, and then like go back home. I don't want to be out too late, whatever. Okay, I also need to stop saying whatever. I don't know why all of a sudden that's my new favorite word. So I apologize to those listeners. Okay. I think I also need to stop saying anyway and okay. But on another note, moving on. I got my drink, and literally, I don't know, 30 seconds later, this girl comes up to the bar and orders some things, and I was just like, I don't know, something about her intrigued me. I was like, oh, I love your tattoo, because she had this really cool shoulder piece. And then I was talking to her for a second, and she was just so nice, and we talked for, I don't know, a couple minutes, and she was telling me about her tattoo and how it's a cover-up and whatever. And then as we were talking, not a surprise, another kind of sugar daddy guy comes up and gives us like 2 ticket things for some game. I still don't understand what it was, but the potential to win money. Anyway, so we each get a ticket, and then we were just talking about it and laughing. We're like, oh, we should go over to like the slot machines and see if we won any money. So anyway, she was with another girl and another guy, and they were like all at a table together, but we were gonna go to the slot machines, and my stuff was just sitting alone at the bar, like my purse and my drink. So I was like, okay, well, I don't want to like leave it unattended. So I walked over to her friends. I was like, I told them what had happened. I was like, okay, we just met these people, and we just met this guy who gave us these slot tickets, so we're gonna see if we won any money. And then I was like, hey, like, I know you don't know me, but is there any chance you would just like watch my stuff? And they were like, oh yeah, oh my gosh, like bring it over, whatever. So then I stick my stuff, we go to slots, we couldn't figure it out. So I don't know, we might have been really rich, but we just couldn't figure out how to do it. So anyway, we come back to the table, and then I was like, oh, thanks so much for watching my stuff. And then I start talking to them, and I think it was like the guy who's like, are you here alone? Or is it, I can't remember. One of them was like, are you here alone? Like, what is going on? I don't know. And I was like, yeah. And then of course, my favorite thing to do is tell people that I'm road tripping. So I'm like, I'm from Maryland, blah, blah, blah. And I tell them, you know, the lowdown. And they were just they were like, oh, that's so cool. Like, you're literally living the dream. And they had so many questions for me, and we were just talking, and they were like, aren't you lonely? And I'm like, yeah. Like, sometimes, like, I get lonely. Like, it was a lot of time by myself, but I'm not overall lonely, but I have moments of loneliness, I guess. And I was just talking to them about it, and then they basically, like, took me in, and they're like, hang out with us. So I hung out with them, and, like, we stayed there for a second, and then we walked down the street to another bar. And, like, I wasn't really drinking that much, but I just was, like, more hanging out with them. And we stayed at the bar for another, like, 2 hours. At this point, I think it was, like, midnight. And we just, like, hit it off. They were so fun. They're about my age. So I'm 21. The one girl that I initially talked to was 22, and her friends were 23. And we literally just talked all night about the most random stuff. And it was so fun. And then we were sitting there, right? And this one girl, like, is calling her friend who isn't at the bar, and they're on FaceTime. And then basically one thing leads to another, and they're like, let's go over to their house. So then I go with them. We all take an Uber. I, like, leave my car at the Cosmo Lounge. We all Uber. I'm, like, Ubering with these 3 random people. We go to this person's house. Obviously, I don't know these people or where we're going, but it felt safe. I trusted the group I was with. Anyway, we went to the house, and there's, like, 4 dogs there. It was so fun. It was, like, a smaller group. There's, like, 6 people there. And we just, like, hung out until, like, 4 a.m. And I didn't know any of them, but I met a bunch of people and had a lot of fun. And it was just, like, such a good time. And the one girl, the first girl I met who, like, brought me into the group, she sadly, unfortunately, does have a funeral on Saturday. So when you're listening to this, 2 days. And I might go to it, because I was like, I heard about it. I was like, if you want me to go, like, I know you don't know me, and I'm probably not a comfort, but if you want me there, like, say the word, I'll be there. And she's like, really, you'll go? Like, yeah, be my plus one. So I might be going to a funeral, for someone I don't really know, and I'm about that. But, well, you know, I'm sad about that, but I would be honored to be a part of that, and I don't know, bring hopefully something pleasant to that situation. Anyway, that was just a travel story that I thought was so funny, and it was just so random, but it was a ton of fun. Okay, what else? Let's see. Travel story. I feel like that was the main one. I mean, like I said, it's been pretty low key around here. I have gone on a couple hikes, seen a couple sunsets. What else have I been doing? It's been really chill. I made a to-do list of like things I need to do before I leave because I'm starting to be like, okay, don't take your time for granted. Like, you need to maximize this. Okay. So, yeah, I'm excited. I feel like because I have a lot of things on the itinerary, the next couple podcasts should be really fun because I'll have a lot to report about. All right. So, I mean, I told you the format was going to be different, and up to now, it has been identical. 7-day gay, 7-day nay, travel stories, but here is where it's going to be slightly switched up. So I have a notes thing in my phone that I started working on like a while ago. I don't know. I mean, not that long ago, probably beginning of the year, but it's life lessons. And I know it's like, wow, such a different format. You're talking about a lesson, but it is. Hear me out. It's 21 lessons instead of one. No, but these are like tiny little things that like most of them I wouldn't make a separate podcast for, or like I wouldn't dedicate an entire like 15 minutes to talk about, but they're just things that like in certain circumstances after I had like that like step back moment, I like came to this realization. So they're all authentic, like things that I genuinely felt, or I don't know, that came to me through a situation. But one other little twist, don't get bored yet, is instead of 21, oh wait, sorry, 21 because I'm 21, chuggy. But also, wait, speaking of chuggy, some of these are chuggy, and some of these you're gonna be like, ew, okay, I think my mom has that hanging above our kitchen. So I'm sorry, but intuition calls, and you have to listen to it. Oh yeah, what I was gonna say, I'm doing 21 things I've learned in 21 years. But I actually did learn all of these in the last 7 months. So, and also instead of 21, I'm doing 16, and the last 5 are 5 things I want to learn, which I think is fun. Okay, so you guys ready? I'm kind of gonna just like blow through these. Some of them I feel like won't make a lot of sense unless I like add a couple sentences explaining it. So we'll see. I'm gonna just say it and then we'll see if it needs an explanation. Okay, lesson number 1. Don't idolize a body type, be inspired by confidence. I feel like that one is very self-explanatory. So we're gonna move on to lesson number 2. Never regret extending love to someone despite what your ego says. Now, this one, I love that. I love that idea. And I think, I mean, that one I would say is pretty self-explanatory, but basically it's like, it came to me in a moment when I extended love that was kind of unreceived, I would say, to someone in like one particular instance. And I think like my protective side or the ego or whatever it is kind of like, oh, why did I text him? Like, I'm so annoying, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, don't listen to that. That's crazy. Like, never, ever feel bad for extending positive regard and love for someone. Like, even if it's, you know, not received or it's not reciprocated. Now, I don't mean, like, enter into a relationship where you love someone and it's unreceived. I don't mean that, but, like, extending a gesture of love should not be something you regret. Okay. Lesson number 3, stop being envious of a life you know you don't want to live. Tell me that's not good. That one came to me because I think, honestly, a lot of these, not a lot, but like you'll probably notice from the first 3 that 2 of them were about kind of like body image, whatever. And I've learned a lot about that, I think, recently this year. And that one kind of came to me because it was like I would watch things or be on TikTok or Instagram or seeing people in my life, whatever, look a certain way, and it's like my toxic brain is like, oh my gosh, like I want to look like that, I want to do that, I need to like do a bunch of things. But I just realized, well, first of all, there's nothing wrong with any sort of body type, skinny, medium, plus size, anywhere in between, anywhere on that spectrum. Obviously there's no, like they're all great, but I think what I was doing, it wasn't even just like the body type, but it was just like, I don't know, it was more, idolizing like habits, like being really intense at the gym or eating a certain way or limiting in a certain way or restricting whatever. And I think I started, the toxic brain was like, we need to do that, we need to do that, we need to get results, we need to look like that. But then I was like, oh my gosh, no, like don't be envious of a life you genuinely know you don't want to live. Okay, sorry, we're gonna keep rolling here. Okay, next. This one is Chuggy. I don't know how to put this for it to not sound so cringy, but laughter is literally priceless, and it is the best medicine ever. Like, if you're sad, you're probably not laughing, but find a way to incorporate any sort of lightheartedness, laughter, humor into your every single day. Whether that's like a certain podcast that you think is really funny, or I'm just kidding, or like a YouTuber or a group of friends. Like, just find a way, because my gosh, like that is just, it's irreplaceable. Okay, next one. Healing is fluid, not stop and start. Healing is also not linear. That's a big one, but anyway. Next. Oh, I kind of lost count. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're on 6. Oh, this one came to me recently, and I freaking love it. Okay. Lesson number 6. Someone needs to love you at least as much as you love yourself. You set the bar for what you deserve, and you find someone that can match that, and if not, exceed it. Mic drop. I'm not even gonna explain it. Okay. Lesson 7. Ooh, I also love this one. I love lessons in words. Okay. 7. Release your belief that it was supposed to work out any other way. That's probably on a Pinterest thing with an ocean in the background, but that one, I didn't look it up. These aren't something I found on the internet. These all were straight from the noggin. Okay. 8. Ooh, I like this. Lesson number 8. Don't make fun of something that makes someone else smile. That is so important. That is so important. Now, obviously, it's like disclaimer maybe? I don't even know if this needs to be said. Like, my point is, if it's something that makes someone smile, laugh, or if it's a passion of theirs, don't make fun of them for it at all. Seriously, no, don't. But if it's like obviously doing harm to them or to someone else, then like that's a different story. But I'm just talking about like lightheartedness. Okay. What number am I on? I don't know. Next lesson. Keep a running list of things that spark joy in your life. This is so important. My biggest tip I could ever give is do everything in your power to determine what sparks joy and do them, and keep a list and know them and pursue them. Next lesson. The more you desire to detach and numb out, the more important it is to do the opposite. This happened to me the other day. I felt myself slipping into kind of like a negative, sad, lonely maybe headspace, and all I wanted to do was just like grab a bunch of snacks and lay in bed and just like scroll mindlessly on TikTok or watch Love Island, which, first of all, love Love Island. Season 7, first of all, I'm saying first of all, season 7 is great. Nothing compared to season 6. That's my opinion. Sorry. Back to this. I really just wanted to numb out, right? I was like, I feel negative energy coming on. I feel something that I don't want to experience, and I just kind of don't want to be present in it. But instead, I sat down on my little desk that I'm recording now, and I journaled, and I listened to some really good worship music and just like kind of laid it all down. And then I went and got out of the house and just like existed in a new space. And again, I'm not avoiding, like, those emotions needed to be felt. That's why I journaled. But I also was like, I don't need to ruminate in them. So like, let's also go do something. Okay. And it's also like that whole idea of the more you want to numb and distract, that means the more you need to lean into it. I feel like that comes up a lot with people in therapy. Like, you know, those days if you go to therapy in general, like when you just really don't want to go to therapy and you're like, I don't know, I'm just like not feeling it. I don't have a lot to talk about, blah, blah, blah. Also, I think my therapist does listen to this, so if you're listening, you know that I always want to go to therapy. I love it. I love it. You're my best friend. Well, but also, like, of course, there are those days when you're just like, I just don't really know what I want to talk about. I'm not feeling reflective or into this. But those are like some of the most beneficial, in my opinion, therapy sessions, because when you don't have like one little situation to get caught up in and spend 45 minutes talking about, like, you kind of uncover other things going on in the brain. So that also is down that same avenue. Okay, next lesson. Health is holistic. If one element is being attended to at the harm of another, it is not health. My gosh, this will be its own episode, so I won't say that much more, but when I'm saying element, I'm talking like physical, spiritual, emotional, mental. Those are the elements I'm saying. If one is being repressed or ignored at the benefit of another, I don't believe that to be health. Okay, next lesson. Sometimes sad endings are better than happy ones. Okay, that's definitely a Pinterest thing. Let's see. Sometimes sad endings are better than happy ones. Images. Yep, there it is. But let me explain before you think that I'm cringy, okay? I said that when I came to this conclusion, finally, that I'm so glad that something didn't work out. And it took March. Oh, I shouldn't count that out. Okay, I'll edit that out. I really did just do that. Okay. It took 6 months for me to come to that conclusion, but I'm just finally to a point where I'm like, wow, I see why that wasn't meant to work out. And technically it was like not the happy ending, but like it was a better ending than the happy ending, in my opinion. Okay. Next one. Okay, oh my gosh. I also said I was going to stop saying okay, and I've failed miserably. Next lesson. Find the balance between body and soul as they should work together, not against one another. This is very similar to the elements one, but I'm talking like strictly just looking at the physical body and its needs, food, water, air, sleep, whatever. And then the soul, like the deeper desires. Find the balance between those. And again, that is something I will probably make an episode about because I have a lot to say, and also the terms of like soul and all of that can be, I don't know, it's very up to interpretation, so it's too hard to cram into this, so we won't. But if you get it, you get it. We only have 3 lessons left before I talk about my goals, so I hope you're still hanging in there. Okay, lesson 14. I just did some quick math, okay? Lesson 14, create more than you consume. This is a good one. Love that. And that actually will tie into a future goal. Lesson 15, the first and last thing you consume in a day matters. This, I don't mean food or water or anything. I don't mean physically consume. Not physically consume, but like how you spend the first part of your day and last part of your day matters. And I think has like a way bigger impact than you might even know. So, like if you spend the first or last, say 30 minutes of your day on social media, versus if you just get up and go through a gratitude list or journal or go outside, like it's gonna affect things. And last lesson 16, working on yourself is not selfish, it is vital. This is something I freaking had to learn this year because I was like, oh, self-care, self-love, like, you get over yourself. But then I was like, oh my gosh, I can only be as good of a person to this world and to my friends as I am internally. And if my internal world is chaotic and messy and dark and unhappy, I don't think anything else is going to be good. So again, you know, I'm big about that kind of stuff on this podcast, so I won't dwell on that anymore. Now, let's hit the goals. First of all, I have 5 goals. I'm a big goal person. I'm a big grow, learn. I love it. I love to be reflective. I love all of that stuff. So we're gonna, let's go through these goals. I'm gonna hold on, I gotta pause it again. Okay, the goals. First one, consumerism. I don't want to be partaking in it as much. I think this year, I don't know what it is, if it was COVID that like was the catalyst to this deep need to buy and like online shop, and or if it's TikTok, or if it's both, or if it's something else, I have no idea. But I am sick of it, and I think I spend too much money and I don't like it. And it's not that I'm like, I don't know, I like to have fun and, you know, treat myself, but I think it just gets to a point where it's like, it's just not healthy in any way. So a goal of mine is to find a better financial balance and to not be materialistic. Okay. Oh, this one is big. My next goal is to learn how to say no. I'm the biggest yes man ever. I cannot, like, it really hurts me, or I don't know the word. It really I don't know, it affects me a lot when I have to say no to people. I take on a lot of guilt, and for some reason, like, I always think about their perspective, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're counting on me, and what would they, like, I bet this is how they feel since I'm saying this. Like, I always just, like, get in everyone else's head and, like, write all these narratives, which it's good to be, like, conscious and aware of other people's feelings, obviously, but I need to learn to be able to say no and to take on things that are in alignment with my life and learn how to lay things down and say no and to not overcommit and to really give the things I am committing to my best. It's a huge goal of mine, and I have an opportunity coming up to say no to a job. Oh my gosh, not a job. I sound like a freaking adult. It's a nannying job, so let's start there. And I'm, oh my gosh, I just, like, it's eating me up inside, but we gotta start somewhere, and I hopefully will be able to report next week that I did it. Okay, third goal, grounding in the present moment. I have been working on this so much. Every time I feel, it's like a dog on a leash or a kid with a backpack leash. You know what I'm talking about? No, what I'm talking about? Okay, every time I feel a thought, like, jolt back and start thinking about something in the past, or like sprint forward or sprint to the side, because the brain is like, let's be anxious about your future, or let's relive that thing you said to that person the other day. You know what I'm talking about? Every time a thought tries to run off, it's like training a dog on a leash. Like, I'm like, no, heel, stay by my side, be in this moment, walk next to me. That's what I'm trying to do with my freaking brain, and I am not there yet, but it is a huge goal, and I'm working on it. Okay. Oh wait, did I say 5 goals? Oh wait, it's 5 goals, but then I put a 7 for good luck, for 22. Okay, 4, free myself from the expectations of others. I would say this is a sub-goal of goal 3. Was that goal 3 of, no, that was goal 2, saying no. That goes along the same vein. I won't really explain that. Well, no, I won't explain that. Okay, I'm done. I won't explain it, don't worry. Don't click off, I'm done. Next. Alignment. Again, I just talked about this, but I feel like I've talked to a couple friends about this. I kind of, through college, or I don't know if this was all my life and I just noticed it in college, I felt like a chameleon. Like, the way I interacted with my roommates versus the way I interacted when I was leading a small group versus the way I interacted when I was alone or in therapy or at work was, like, so different. And I had all of these, like, zones, or like, I would play up certain personality traits and repress certain ones and be a certain way. And of course, like, certain situations naturally need, like, a different, like, element of you, if that makes sense. Like, of course, if you're at work, you need to be a certain way versus if you're hanging out with your roommate. So there's a natural, like, okay, I'm not going to be completely the same, but I feel like I want internal alignment. Like, I want to be sure of myself, and I want to have, like, one version of me, not Bible study version and roommate version and home friend version and parent version. Like, no, I want to be aligned. And this is the bonus one because I'm 21 and a half. So, okay, let's talk about that. I'm just kidding. Let's not talk about that. So, I don't know why I'm introducing it like this. Okay, shut up. Oh, I can't believe I just told myself to shut up. Because the last goal is self-talk. What is wrong with me? Oh my gosh, I'm doing it again. Okay, you see, I'm leaving all this in because this is authentic evidence of why this is a goal. All of those little comments I make to myself, I need it to stop. Like, every time I do something, I'm always like, what is wrong with me? Why did I do that? I hate myself. Like, they come out of a lighthearted place, I think, but we're cutting those out. Those don't need to exist. They're not here for me, and I don't want them. So I also realized, like, I do that a lot. I mean, I do that a lot. But then also when it comes to, I don't know, other things, I'm trying to think of a good example. Okay, like, if I'm doing math with people, like, you know, in study groups for my major, whatever, I'm always, like, making a lot of digs at myself or side comments of jokes, because I also cope with humor. So when I feel, like, incapable or incompetent, I'm just going to make a joke about it. And, like, again, humor's great, and don't take yourself seriously, but also don't be mean to yourself. So that's a big one. And then I also noticed, this is something I was thinking about the other day, was how I am with, like, this podcast even sometimes. I found myself apologizing a lot and being like, I hope that made sense, or sorry for the ramble, or or what was that? What? Oh, something is, okay. Sorry, I'm back. I'm attentive. I just found myself apologizing a lot or just being like, if you're listening to this, you probably aren't. Like, I don't know. Which, again, it's probably coming from a coping mechanism place of, I want to be successful, and I don't know if I am. But I think I just make a lot of jokes. So, anyway, I'm going to keep cracking, but also I'm going to be nicer to myself. Because I think all of the little comments do add up. Thank you for freaking listening to that. That was awesome. I had a lot of fun. And I hope it was a little bit more enjoyable maybe, or just like a slight change of pace. I really do like talking, for 14 minutes, 15, what's so specific? 14 minutes and 30 seconds about my lessons. But I think today I'm feeling spunky. I'm feeling different. I got bangs now, so it's a whole different vibe. Okay, 21 things. Okay, let's maybe not end it, but I have one more thing I want to share. I know this episode is long, but I hope you're having fun, because I'm having fun. Last night, I was in a mood, but like a good mood. One of those moods where you're like dancing to Dancing in the Moonlight at 2 a.m. by yourself with your fake knockoff beats on, you know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. And it was just one of those nights, but then I was laying in bed and I had like this crazy thought where I was like, this experience is so unique because I'm just simply pulled out of my life. Like, I'm not in my college town. I'm not living at home. Like, I know no one here, and I'm not surrounded by people that know me. I'm not like going to work. I'm not at school. I'm just like existing. And I think that's why it's been such a clarifying and powerful summer, because I'm learning like who I am outside of my resume, or not like resume, but you know what I'm saying? Like outside of, okay, I'm a nanny, yeah, or I'm a student, or I'm a best friend, or a daughter, like, yeah, or a roommate, all of those are true and they are part of who I am, but they're not who I am. And I think something about like being here, just like completely not a part of my life at home, and not being really around any of those relationships or jobs, whatever, has given me this new perspective, and it's been so cool. And I was just thinking about how awesome that is last night. So anyway, also, I asked on the Instagram what you guys want to hear about, and someone, I don't know if he's listening, someone told me to talk about Temptation Island, and I don't know what that is. I'm gonna Google that right now. I clicked on something. Temptation Island. So I'm really sorry to disappoint you, listener. You know who you are. And I don't know who these... Okay, what I want to know is this Temptation Island, where does it go? I asked him this, but I haven't checked my DMs. But where does it rank with like Love Island or Too Hot to Handle, like those kind of shows? Like, what is it? Is it like Survivor? Like, what is it? Temptation Island is American reality. Okay. Oh, on Fox. Oh, Ryan. To live with a group of singles of the opposite sex in order to test the strength of their relationships. Oh, okay. So it's like, do I want to cheat? Is that what it is? Okay. Well, I'm sorry. I can't really give you my thoughts because I know nothing about it, but I'll get back to you on that one. Now, let's just briefly, as we're wrapping up this episode, the loose plan for next week. Here's the thing. I kind of like planning it a day or two before, depending on where I'm at, what mood I'm in. So this is a very loose plan, and we'll see. First of all, I really want to talk about habits. I've formed, and I am forming, some cool habits that I would like to talk about. I also have 5 friends coming, maybe 4 plus or minus 1. No, 4 plus $1. It'll at least be 4 coming on Thursday. I don't know what time their flight is, so I don't think they'll be in the episode. Oh, we'll see. But anyway, that's exciting, so you'll hear about that. Ooh, okay, this is another thing I'm going to talk about next week. I got Bumble BFF, and I have a couple friend dates coming up, so I'm excited to talk about how those go. And then, yeah, like I told you guys, I have a to-do list of things I want to do here that involve some cool things. So I'm excited for next week. There's going to be a lot of updates, but since this was such a chill week, I was like, let's just actually hang and let's just talk about anything and everything. And I seriously appreciate if you listen to this. I really do have so much fun making this, and I wish there was a way I could truly express my gratitude. Like, it's so cool. It just makes me feel connected to my people, and I don't know, it gives me a sense of purpose, and I really love it, and it means a lot if you're supporting it and listening to it. So big old thanks to you. And what else was oh yeah, check the Instagram at Andy K's Podcast for some more updates, or if you want to interact and chat, so do that, please. I'd love to talk to you. And then, oh yeah, this YouTube video is going to be up. I will have to figure out how to do that. I know how to upload a YouTube video, but I need to make it look all cool. So I want to do that. I'll put the YouTube link in the show notes. And this was probably my favorite episode I've ever recorded. I'm just in a good mood, and I had a lot of fun, and I hope you did too. And I will see you next week. Bye.